Have you ever heard, I have goals but haven't yet achieved them? Or I'm on the right path, but there's just no way for me to do this in this time frame? Maybe you feel a little stressed out, frustrated with yourself, or maybe your teams, and you're not really sure where to be. According to published studies, the reality is that about 92% of people don't achieve their goals. So we can deduce from these studies that most people struggle to achieve their goals, especially when it comes to sales revenue goals. I'm Doug Brown, and in this video, I'm going to show you a roadmap for setting sales revenue goals the right way. I'm going to start with the most common mistake businesses make when setting goals. Setting linear goals that are hyperinflated and focused only on tactics that will help them achieve those specific goals. To grow your sales revenue, they just don't work, especially if you're serious about your goals. You need to set your goals based on a strategy and a forward way of thinking, and I'm going to give you an example. I had a gentleman come to me and say, I want to grow my company from $2 million to $53 million in a year. So I asked him, okay, how many people are in the company? He said, just me. I said, okay, what's your plan to get there? Well, at this point, I just want to grow. I responded, well, what kind of budget do you have in your marketing? His response is, we don't have any money for that budget for marketing. So I asked him, you don't have millions of dollars for a budget? Out of curiosity, what do you think it's going to cost you to get $53 million in new revenue as your goal? He said, probably about $5 million. I've got to hire people, put an infrastructure in place. So we had the conversation. At the end of the conversation, he realized that what he was doing was what a lot of people do. They hyperinflate a goal. The reality is, I asked him a question during our conversation. I said, listen, if you only grow by $1 million or so this year, just go from $2 million to $3 million. Is that acceptable? You know, his answer was yes. So that's not a committed goal to get to $53 million. That is a hyperinflated goal, and that gentleman was setting himself up for lack of success. Setting hyperinflated goals is like going to the gym and wanting to bench press, say 200 pounds or 90 kilograms during the next 7 or 30 days, while the largest amount of weight that you have ever lifted in your life is 100 pounds or 45 kilograms. You're trying to go from 100 to 200 pounds in a really short period of time, so it's probably not a realistic goal, but what if you gave yourself 6 months? That would be a far more realistic goal. So let me share the roadmap for setting sales revenue growth goals the right way. Step number 1 is you need to be clear and truthful on what you're trying to accomplish. Step 2, look at your current infrastructure. See if it'll support your goals. Assess it on a very deep level. If you have the financial resources to achieve these goals, if you have the processes in place that will allow you to achieve them, and if you have the people in place to help you reach them. Step 3, think about where you're going right now and fill in the gaps after doing the assessment. Focus on solutions. Think ahead because you need to think of all those things, the what ifs, so you can be prepared. Think about contingencies because stuff will happen to alter the path along where you're going. It's just going to happen. For example, let's say you and your business partner who shares 50% of the shares of the company are starting a new project and you laid out a very profitable sales revenue growth plan for the next 2 years. But after 6 months, your business partner comes to you and says, you know what, I don't want to do this project anymore. I'm out of here. What will you do then? Are you still willing to share the 50% of the profit from that project for that person and with that person? My guess is probably not. So step number 4 is be clear on processes that you're going to use to get there. To save yourself time, money, and a lot of frustration, you're going to need a well-defined process in everything that you do. Step 5 is make sure you have the right people in place. Remember that if you want to work smarter, not harder on goals, that means with less stress. And to get higher level goals, you must have other people's help. We all need help, providing you the leverage to get there. Step 6 is break down your plans into tasks and your team can execute. Make sure they can execute on it. Step 7 is ask yourself the question, am I really committed to achieving this goal? For example, if you need extra cash or so, are you willing to go out and get it? Are you committed to doing whatever's necessary to achieve the goal? Or is it just a great idea? As a bonus step in this roadmap, here's an additional question to ask yourself. Am I willing to adjust or readjust my goals if the one I'm set is not achievable for whatever reason? If yes, then things are good for you on the horizon of sales revenue growth. I trust that you will follow all the steps I just gave you for setting your next sales revenue goal. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please like it and subscribe to my channel to hear more about sales revenue growth insights. Also, please comment and let me know your thoughts, as well as what you'd like me to talk about in the future.